Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be creating a fall nail look using affordable nail finds. Today we're going to be trying all things Beetle, and I'm really excited because I do want to try for the first time their Hema free gel polish collection. But the first thing that I have here, this is the foundation gel, which is going to be your base coat, and then the top coat. So I just wanted to check it out first. These are the bigger bottles. Now I have tried the gel base and gel top coat, the ones that come in the little sets with like the little adorable bottle. And today we're going to try the full size product. So I'm just looking at the viscosity. I was just looking to make sure that it was the same formula that I'm used to with the actual little collections. And the viscosity is definitely the same. This is my go-to for making press-ons because I do like how it's not too thin and it's not too thick. It's a perfect medium viscosity, which makes making press-ons easy with that kind of formula because you're not adding any extra bulk. And then here's the gel polish collection that I'm super eager to try because it is Hema free. It is the Golden Hour collection, which I feel like this is best of both worlds right here. It's going to get us towards fall, Thanksgiving. There's even a red and green in here, but I'm already loving the bottles right off the bat. The packaging is amazing. It is everything. I love a good colored bottle. Also, the wand that you see on this brush, I was not expecting it to be this long. I am actually shocked by the length of this wand right here. So we're going to test out a few of the colors today and create a really overall, just a simple nail look. We're going to do a little bit of nail art as well because I want to see how these polishes work with a liner brush to see if they are good to incorporate for nail art as well. And then we're going to do an all over color so you can really see how these polishes perform and if this collection is going to be right for you. Now we are working with a fall color palette today, but there are tons of Hema free options and there's definitely a color collection that you're going to gravitate towards. So I will link everything in that description box. Now, before we get into this collection, I do want to do a little bit of nail art on two of the nails. So we're going to go in with a really beautiful nudie jelly polish. This one is part of the collection of Whispers of Love. It's a great one. I showed it in my Amazon must-haves, and it is by far a really good neutral color, especially a good background for any nail art. All right, so we're going to dive into this first color right here, which is the perfect, in my opinion. It screams fall. I love a good fall yellow, so I really wanted to see how this one was going to work because yellow, oranges, and reds, in my opinion, are like the hardest to get right when it comes to a gel formula. They're either, the color payoff's not there, they're either too streaky, too patchy, but right now I'm already noticing that we have really good coverage. I do like the brush of the wand. I do like the length of it as well. It's definitely a game changer for me because I'm not used to having quite like this long of a brush, but I'm totally here for it. Now I'm liking the coverage that we're getting. It almost looks full coverage with that first coat, which I'm completely blown away by. And I like that we still have a lot of darkness coming through with this yellow. It's not just, it's just a very, just overall like butterscotchy, buttery yellow. But I did cure it for a full 90 seconds. Now with this collection, you want to make sure you are working with very thin layers. And on the directions, it says cure from 60 to 90 seconds. I just did it for 90 seconds. I rather cure it too longer than not enough. So 90 seconds is what works best for me when it came to this collection. And then just working in very thin layers. And how gorgeous is this yellow? It's deep, it's beautiful. It is by far the perfect fall yellow. All right, so now we're gonna pull in an orange because I wanted to just kind of do an all over orange color. And then we will dive into a green, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a French tip and then a plaid nail design. But the orange right here, I'm noticing that it's still, we have a little bit of opaqueness coming through, but it's not as opaque as that yellow one, but we are still getting really good coverage. And again, I'm just working with thin layers, and then we're just going to cure for that 90 seconds and then go back in with another one. Now it looks good. Once I'm playing with it a little bit more, it does have a little bit of an area right at the tip here that I'm just working on, just kind of blending it out a little bit. And then instead of sticking this nail right in the lamp, I'm just going to give it a few seconds just to self level. And then everything just came so nicely. This is a really good formula. It also does not have that strong chemical scent to it. A lot of times, and I know I touch base on this a lot on my channel, especially when I'm doing my big Amazon hauls, is that sometimes when you're working with a Hema free product, they have a very overbearing, strong chemical scent to them These do not have that. I'm not experiencing any kind of strong scent to them, so that is also a plus. I'm also really liking this color palette right here. This is a beautiful, just deep pumpkin orange. I really like how these have a very like beautiful dark undertone to them. So it's not just like that harsh pop of orange. This is overall a very just subtle orange. And I feel like this would be great with a matte finish as well. Now we're going to be pulling in some green on the pinky nail. This is the last all over color nail, and then we're going to get into some nail art. Now this one is the lighter green of the collection. It's more of like your sagey, almost kind of like a, dirty martini olive moment going on here. I do like the reds in here and the green because I feel like even though this is a really just good collection for Thanksgiving and fall, I do like that there is greens in here and reds, so then you can utilize this collection for the upcoming holiday season as well. So you kind of get multiple uses out of this. Plus, I feel like these are just great colors in general, and I'm loving the coverage. Now that we're on our third color, I will say I do prefer this collection with two coats. I just feel like you can get away with one coat, but I just feel like two coats just really brings the color to life and just gives you a clean finish. And it just gives you more of like that deeper fall color. So I will say I do like it with two coats. So we're just going to finish up the green here. This is a great green to have. And then we're going to pop that in the lamp. And again, I'm curing for a full 90 seconds. All right, so now we're going to get into some nail art. We're going to go in with one of the reds. And then for the first nail, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a French tip moment. And then we will get into that plaid nail here in just a moment. But for my French, I don't really have a technique that works for me. I like to start kind of like on one side of the nail and then kind of connect everything and then just straighten everything out as I go. I wish I had more of like a step-by-step method when it comes to my French, but this personally, this is what works for me. Now you're kind of like probably looking at it like that looks a little wonky, but we're going to go ahead and clean it up here in just a moment. Now that we have like our foundation for the French tip, I'm going to go ahead, instead of using the nail art brush and filling it in, I'm just going to go ahead and use the brush from the bottle just to fill in that area. And then once that area is completely filled in, we'll go back in with the nail art brush and just clean everything up and just sharpen our lines, and then everything will look put together. But this is what works best for me. I will say this red worked really good for the French tip. I didn't have any issues or patchiness when it came to that line. And then once we're done with the French tip, I did go ahead and cure for a full 90 seconds. Now I did like the color payoff that we had with one coat, plus I did not want to risk messing up my French, so we went in with one coat, and the color payoff is definitely there with this red. So now we're going to try some of the colors and do a little bit of line work to see how these polishes perform with a little bit of line work. So we're starting off with that orange. For the plaid nail look, we're just going to do some lines going down and then across, nothing too crazy, but I'm completely blown away by that color payoff and the line that we created with that orange right off the bat. And then I am going to flash cure as we go, but these gels worked great for not only an all over color, but they also work great for nail art. So if you are looking for a Hema free option for some colors, especially colors like this, because you can do a lot with them for nail art, this would be a great option to add to your collection. And honestly, I was not expecting these polishes to perform this good. So I'm really excited about it because I'm always on the hunt for affordable nail finds, and plus that it's Hema free is an absolute plus. And there's tons of there's tons of other colors to pick from. There's not just this beautiful like rusted color palette that we're working with. So I went ahead and finished up the rest of the detailing off camera because with the white I wanted to get really close, and I just needed to just do that on by myself off camera. All right, so then to seal everything in, we're gonna go in with a layer of gel top coat, apply that to all the nails, and then cure for a full 60 seconds. It's gonna give us the perfect glossy shine. I did debate if I wanted to do a matte top coat with this, but I figured let's just see what it looks like with a glossy finish. And then here's what we're working with. Here's our finished set. I love this so much. I feel like this is the perfect, simple, but yet it's still great for Thanksgiving. The base color that we use on top of the French tip in the plaid just goes so well with this collection. But overall, I'm blown away by this, and I cannot wait to try some more of the Hema free Beetles based on the formula alone. But I do really think the bottles are super aesthetically pleasing. I really like the color of the bottles matches the actual polish inside. I think that's a really unique touch and something different than just like their traditional black bottles that you always see in their collections. So I really like the play of the aesthetic of the bottles themselves. All right, so everything we use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Stay tuned, we will be diving into more affordable nail finds, and I'll see you all in the next one.